Good morning/afternoon/evening. Have you ever wondered why someone lingers in your thoughts, occupying your mind even when you're busy? It could be someone you love, someone you miss, or even someone who hurt you. There's a reason for it. Actually, there are two reasons. And understanding them can teach us a lot about ourselves. As human beings, we are inherently social creatures. From the moment we are born, we seek connection. It's not just a preference, it's a fundamental need. Connection is what makes us feel alive, understood, and valued. It's what ties us to each other and to the world around us. When someone occupies your thoughts, it's often because they've touched this deep, intrinsic part of who you are. Think about the relationships that have shaped your life. It might be a childhood friend who taught you what it means to trust, a mentor who believed in you when you doubted yourself, or someone you love deeply who made you feel seen in ways no one else ever has. These connections go beyond the surface. They strike a chord in your soul. They remind you of what it means to be human, to be vulnerable, and to share your life with another person. What's fascinating is that this connection isn't always about proximity. It's not just about the people you see every day. It's about the emotional impact they've had on you. They could be someone you met years ago, but their influence still echoes in your life. Why? Because meaningful relationships leave a lasting imprint. When someone truly connects with you, they don't just touch your life, they become a part of it. There's a powerful biological element to this as well. When we bond with someone, our brain releases chemicals like oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone. This reinforces feelings of trust, safety, and attachment. Over time, these emotions create a neurological map, a kind of mental pathway that links that person to your sense of well-being. Even after they're no longer physically present, the imprint remains. It's why you can hear their voice in your mind or feel their presence in a quiet moment. But connection isn't limited to love or happiness. Sometimes the people who occupy our thoughts are those who've challenged us, hurt us, or forced us to grow. These relationships are significant because they push us to confront parts of ourselves we might otherwise avoid. They demand our attention because on some level they've shaped our story, whether through joy, pain, or even conflict. Emotions are the heartbeat of our human experience. They color every interaction we have and define the way we perceive and remember the people in our lives. When someone is constantly on your mind, it's often because they've sparked an emotional response within you, one so strong that it reverberates in your thoughts long after the moment has passed. At their core, emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are signals. They tell us what matters, what we value, and what we need to pay attention to. Joy, love, anger, sadness. Each emotion carries its own unique weight. And when someone evokes one of these feelings in us, they leave a mark. This is why certain people are unforgettable. They aren't just faces in a crowd. They're tied to memories, experiences, and emotional states that define significant moments in our lives. Think about the people who have brought you the most happiness. They're often on your mind because they've created moments of joy that you want to relive. Maybe it's the way they made you laugh during a hard time, the way they believed in you when no one else did, or the way their presence simply made you feel at peace. Positive emotions like these create strong mental anchors. They bind us to people and make us crave that same emotional connection over and over again. But emotions are not always easy or straightforward. Sometimes The people who occupy our thoughts are tied to more complex or painful feelings. Perhaps it's someone who hurt you and their actions left unresolved anger or grief. Maybe it's someone you miss and their absence fills you with longing. These emotions can be even more powerful than positive ones because our minds instinctively seek resolution. When emotions like regret, guilt, or heartbreak are tied to someone, they often take up mental space as your brain tries to process and make sense of the experience. Interestingly, even conflicting emotions can keep someone on your mind. You might feel love and frustration for the same person, or gratitude and sadness. These emotional paradoxes are uniquely human and deeply impactful. They force us to wrestle with our feelings, and in doing so, they keep that person front and center in our thoughts. Science also sheds light on why emotions make such an impact. When we experience strong feelings, our brain activates the amygdala, the part responsible for processing emotions, and ties it to the hippocampus, which handles memory. This connection creates emotional memories that are more vivid and long-lasting than neutral ones. It's why you can clearly remember the sound of someone's laugh or the look on their face during a pivotal moment, even if years have passed. What's even more fascinating is that emotions can linger and resurface unexpectedly. A familiar scent, a song, or even a fleeting thought can trigger an emotional memory, bringing that person back to the forefront of your mind. This is because emotions are deeply tied to our sensory and subconscious experiences. But why does this matter? Why do emotions hold such power over us? Because emotions are our guideposts. They tell us what we care about, what we need to heal from, and what we hope for. When someone occupies your thoughts, it's often because they've touched an emotional part of you that's still alive and active. Maybe they've sparked your greatest joy, or maybe they've highlighted a wound that needs healing. Either way, their presence in your mind is a reflection of your emotional journey. The role of emotions is not just to make us feel, it's to make us grow. The people who evoke strong emotions in us often challenge us to look deeper at our relationships, our choices, and even our own identities. So the next time someone is on your mind, consider the emotions tied to them. Are they teaching you about love, resilience, forgiveness, or perhaps the courage to let go? Understanding the emotional connection can bring clarity and even a sense of purpose to why they occupy your thoughts. The people who stay on our minds are often the ones who have shaped us in some meaningful way. Their presence in our thoughts isn't accidental. It's a reflection of their significance in our lives and the lasting impact they've had on who we are. To understand why someone lingers in your mind, you must first recognize the role they've played in your personal story. At its core, significance is about value. Certain people stand out because they have touched your life in ways that matter to you deeply. Perhaps they were there during a critical moment, a friend who supported you during a time of uncertainty, a mentor who guided you when you felt lost, or a loved one who brought light into your darkest days. These individuals become more than just acquaintances or memories. They become integral to your narrative, representing key chapters of growth, resilience, and transformation. The impact they've had on your life goes beyond surface interactions. It's not just what they said or did, it's how they made you feel and the way they influenced your perspective. For instance, a teacher who believed in your potential might have sparked a lifelong passion for learning. A partner who encouraged you to chase your dreams might have set you on a path you never imagined. Even someone who challenged you or caused your pain could have impacted you by forcing you to grow stronger, wiser, or more self-aware. Significance isn't just about the positive, though. Some of the most impactful people in our lives are those who've pushed us into uncomfortable spaces. Maybe it was a person who made you question your beliefs, someone who forced you to confront your fears, or even a relationship that ended in heartbreak but taught you invaluable lessons about love and self-worth. These experiences, though difficult, often leave the deepest marks because they reshape how we see ourselves and the world around us. Psychologically, the impact someone has on us often correlates with how much of our identity is tied to them. When someone helps you uncover a part of yourself, whether it's your ambitions, your strengths, or even your vulnerabilities, they become significant not just as a person, but as a symbol of your journey. This is why their presence in your mind feels so profound. They represent more than just themselves. They represent your own growth, challenges, and transformation. Cultural and societal factors also play a role in amplifying significance. For example, a family member or close friend may hold a pivotal place in your life because of the shared history and the role they play in your support system. Alternatively, someone you admire from a distance, such as a role model or an influential figure, might stay in your thoughts because they embody qualities or aspirations you strive for. Their impact may not be personal, but it's deeply motivational. It's also important to consider the emotional weight of unfinished stories. When a relationship ends abruptly or without closure, the significance of that person often intensifies. Unanswered questions or unresolved feelings keep them present in your mind as your subconscious seeks to make sense of the situation. This is why people tied to unresolved emotions like regret, longing, or even hope often linger in our thoughts far longer than we expect. Another layer of significance comes from the way someone's impact aligns with your purpose or values. The people who inspire you to be better, to dream bigger, or to live more authentically are often the ones who remain in your mind because they remind you of what truly matters. They challenge you to keep striving, to hold on to your principles, and to live a life aligned with your core beliefs. In the grand tapestry of life, every person you encounter has the potential to influence you. But the ones who stay on your mind are those whose significance resonates with your story in a profound way. Their impact isn't fleeting, it's enduring, woven into the fabric of who you are. They might be reminders of your past, catalysts for your present, or inspirations for your future. Recognizing the significance and impact of someone in your life can bring clarity and even gratitude. Whether they've brought you joy, challenged your beliefs, or taught you invaluable lessons, their presence in your mind is a testament to the ways they've shaped your journey. By reflecting on their impact, you not only honor their role in your story, but also deepen your understanding of yourself and your path forward. Life is full of stories. Some we write, some we live, and some remain incomplete. These unfinished stories often linger in our minds, refusing to fade away. They represent moments of uncertainty, relationships that ended too soon, words left unsaid, or dreams that never came to fruition. When someone occupies your thoughts, it may be because their story with you feels unfinished, like a book missing its final chapters. Unfinished stories have a unique emotional weight because they leave us with a sense of incompletion. As humans, we crave resolution. We are naturally wired to seek closure and to make sense of the world around us. When we can't tie up the loose ends of a relationship or an experience, our minds tend to fixate on it, replaying the events over and over, as if searching for a way to write the ending ourselves. Think about a person you might still think of long after they've left your life. Perhaps it's someone who meant the world to you, a friend who suddenly disappeared, a partner you thought you'd spend forever with, or a colleague who moved on without explanation. Maybe it's someone who hurt you and you never got the apology you deserved. Or it could even be someone you hurt, and the guilt of not making amends keeps their memory alive. These are the kinds of stories that remain unfinished, and their emotional power lies in what's left unresolved. Unfinished stories often come with lingering questions. What if I had said something different? What if I had tried harder? What if they had stayed? These questions can feel like open loops in your mind, pulling you back to the person and the story you shared with them. They invite speculation, imagination, and sometimes even regret as your mind tries to fill in the blanks. The unresolved nature of these stories can keep the person alive in your thoughts, not just as a memory, but as a puzzle you are trying to solve. But the power of unfinished stories isn't only about regret or longing, it's also about possibility. When a story is incomplete, it holds the potential for new beginnings, second chances, or even personal growth. Sometimes the unfinished nature of a relationship or experience serves as a reminder that there is still something to learn, a truth to uncover, or a way to move forward. Psychologically, this fixation on unfinished stories is tied to a concept called the Zeigarnik effect. This principle suggests that our minds are more likely to remember and dwell on tasks or situations that are incomplete. This is why unresolved relationships or unspoken words tend to stick with us. They represent unfinished tasks in our emotional landscape. Your brain, in its effort to seek resolution, keeps bringing the person to the forefront of your mind, hoping to close the loop. Unfinished stories are also deeply tied to our sense of identity. The people who play a role in these stories often represent something significant in our lives. They might symbolize love, trust, betrayal, or growth. Their presence or absence shaped who we are, and the incompleteness of their story with us can feel like an unresolved part of ourselves. Until we find a way to process or integrate their impact, they remain a prominent figure in our thoughts. Interestingly, unfinished stories can also serve as a source of hope. They remind us that life is fluid, and while some chapters may seem incomplete now, the story isn't over. There's always a chance for reconciliation, understanding, or even simply making peace with what was. Sometimes the process of revisiting these unfinished stories helps us uncover hidden lessons or perspectives we couldn't see before. But it's important to acknowledge that not every unfinished story will find its resolution. Some relationships will remain open-ended, and some questions will go unanswered. The challenge, then, is to find closure within ourselves, even when external closure isn't possible. This might mean forgiving someone who never apologized, letting go of a dream that no longer serves us, or accepting that some stories are beautiful precisely because they remain unfinished. When someone is constantly on your mind due to an unfinished story, it's an invitation to reflect, not just on them, but on what their presence in your life represents. And what are the lessons they left behind? What emotions are tied to their memory? And most importantly, how can you use this reflection to move forward? Unfinished stories are a natural part of life. They remind us that not everything will go as planned, and not every relationship will have a neat conclusion. But within their incompletion lies an opportunity for growth, for forgiveness, and for finding meaning in the unknown. These stories may never reach the perfect ending, but they will always be a part of your journey, shaping who you are and guiding you toward who you are meant to become. Purpose is one of the most profound drivers of human thought, emotion, and behavior. It gives us direction, meaning, and a sense of fulfillment. When someone is constantly on your mind, it may be because they are tied to a deeper sense of purpose in your life. They may represent a lesson you're meant to learn, a goal you're striving toward, or a truth about yourself that you're still uncovering. Understanding the power of purpose can help you make sense of why certain people occupy your thoughts so persistently. At its essence, purpose is about why. Why do we care? Why do we choose certain paths? Why do certain people or experiences linger with us long after they're gone? The people who stay in our thoughts often reflect something essential about our own journey. They may remind us of who we are, who we want to become, or even who we've been avoiding. In this way, purpose isn't just about external goals. It's about internal alignment with what truly matters to us. Consider someone who inspires you. They might be on your mind because they embody qualities or values you admire, such as resilience, kindness, or ambition. Their presence in your thoughts could be your subconscious urging you to cultivate these same traits in yourself. Purpose here acts as a guide, using the memory or image of that person to push you toward growth and self-improvement. On the other hand, someone who challenges or frustrates you might also hold a deeper purpose in your life. Their presence in your thoughts could be an invitation to address unresolved feelings, confront fears, or break unhealthy patterns. Perhaps they are there to teach you patience, forgiveness, or the importance of setting boundaries. Even when the emotions tied to them are difficult, their role in your mental and emotional landscape can be deeply purposeful. The power of purpose is also evident in the way we hold on to people who symbolize pivotal moments or transitions in our lives. Maybe it's a mentor who believed in you when no one else did, a friend who stood by you during a difficult time, or a partner who encouraged you to dream bigger. These individuals often stay in our thoughts because they represent turning points, moments when we were called to rise, to change, or to embrace a new direction. Their significance isn't just about who they are, it's about the purpose they fulfilled in helping you become who you are today. Purpose has a way of intertwining with unfinished stories as well. When a relationship or interaction feels unresolved, it can leave you searching for meaning. Why did it end the way it did? What am I supposed to learn from this? These questions often keep someone in your thoughts, not because of the person alone, but because of the purpose their presence or absence serves in your personal growth. Interestingly, purpose also has a way of looking forward. Sometimes the people who occupy your mind are those who inspire a sense of possibility or hope. They might be tied to dreams you haven't yet achieved or goals you're working toward. Their presence serves as a reminder of your aspirations and the kind of life you want to create. This forward-looking purpose can be a powerful motivator, keeping you focused on what truly matters. The psychological impact of purpose on our thoughts is significant. Studies show that having a sense of purpose is linked to greater mental clarity, resilience, and overall well-being. When someone is tied to your sense of purpose, their presence in your thoughts can feel almost energizing. They become a mental anchor, grounding you in your why and reminding you of what's important, even during challenging times. Purpose is also deeply personal. What one person means to you might be entirely different from what they mean to someone else. This individuality is what makes the connection so powerful. The purpose they serve in your life is unique to your journey, shaped by your experiences, values, and aspirations. The purpose isn't always about grand, life-changing realizations. Sometimes it's as simple as reminding you to live authentically. The people who linger in your mind might reflect a part of yourself that you want to nurture, a creative spark, a courageous heart, or a loving spirit. Their presence becomes a mirror, showing you the best parts of yourself and encouraging you to live in alignment with those qualities. Ultimately, the power of purpose is about transformation. The people who stay in your thoughts aren't just figures in your memory, they are catalysts for growth. They challenge you to reflect, to learn, and to evolve. Whether they bring joy, pain, or a mix of emotions, their purpose is to help you move closer to your true self. When you embrace this perspective, you realize that the people who occupy your mind are not distractions or burdens. They are guides. They point you toward the lessons you need to learn, the values you need to honor, and the dreams you need to pursue. Their presence, no matter how fleeting or persistent, is a gift, a reminder of the profound interconnectedness of your journey and the purpose driving it forward. In the intricate web of human connection, the people who linger in our thoughts hold profound significance. Whether they represent love, growth, lessons, or unresolved emotions, their presence is rarely random. Through the lens of relationships and connection, we see how deeply intertwined we are, not just with others, but with our own evolving identities. The emotions they evoke remind us of what we value, while the unfinished stories they leave behind challenge us to seek understanding, closure, or growth. These people, whether sources of joy or complexity, often reflect our purpose, the guiding force that shapes our decisions, fuels our dreams, and pushes us toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Their presence in our thoughts is a testament to the power of human relationships and the transformative journey we are all on. Ultimately, when someone is always on your mind, it's an opportunity to look inward. What are they teaching you? How are they helping you grow? And what is the purpose of their role in your life? By embracing these reflections, we honor not only the connection we share with them, but also the deeper truths about ourselves. Life is a collection of moments, stories, and relationships. Some are neatly tied with endings, while others remain open-ended, urging us to keep writing, learning, and growing. The people who stay in our thoughts are woven into the fabric of our journey. They remind us of our capacity to love, to heal, and to transform. As you leave today with these reflections, remember that the people who occupy your mind are not just part of your past or present. They are guides, mirrors, and sometimes even motivators for your future. Embrace their presence as a reminder of the beauty and complexity of your story, and let it inspire you to continue living with intention, connection, and purpose.